What's going on, everyone? Kyle Solkar here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2020 BMW M2 Competition and whether or not you should buy one yourself. So first and foremost, you're going to see this absolutely beautiful front bumper with these trapezoidal notches, as well as the double slotted grille, true to the newer M cars, black trim all around on the competition packages, as well as now being 2020, these octagonal headlights that look absolutely beautiful. Now, of course, these beautiful wheels cannot go unnoticed. These 20-inch wheels with Michelin Pilot Super Sports, absolutely phenomenal, kind of a tribute to the E92 and E46 M3 CSL wheel, but kind of the next iteration of it with the silver face and the black innards. Just kind of look so aggressive, and it just makes the wheel pop in a completely different way. Of course, behind that you see these competition package specific calipers that are ridiculously huge, kind of this gray silver that is fantastic, as well as the huge brake rotors that are slotted and say a nice little M on the side, so you know that you are driving an awesome M car. So in the M2 Competition, of course, you're going to have the M2 badge finish in gloss black with the competition underneath, similar to the M5 Competition. Now, they use similar badges to this on the Johari edition M cars as well. Down here, you're going to see that similar trapezoidal pattern that you saw on the front bumper on the rear, which is cool and kind of new to BMW. Quad exhaust, of course, with these kind of black chrome looking tips that look really cool. This is just a really beautiful contrast between the paint, the exhaust, and the diffuser. You got the LED taillights right here that look really good and kind of fit the whole look of the car. Carbon spoiler will really make this car pop, but from the factory it's got a nice little lip that is definitely bigger than the M3's. And definitely makes this car kind of look a little bit more balanced. Little side note, this vent is not functional, unfortunately, like the M3s and M5s are. They have kind of a duct going through the fender, but they do look really cool. It's got this indentation to kind of follow the line of the car that kind of meets the whole aggressive back end. So not too upset about it, but just a kind of a side note, if you're wondering if there's any holes in here, there is not. Now, if this motor looks familiar to you, that's because either you watched one of my videos before, or you just are familiar with the F80 M3 or F82 M4 and the S55 motor that's in it. This is a twin turbocharged inline six motor that produces 405 horsepower in this particular car. Now, the previous generation M2 non-competition had the N55 out of the late model 5 series and 335s of the generation, and it had a single turbo inline six that produced 365 horsepower, making for a 40 horsepower difference in the competition package. Now, what you really care about in this car is the drivability. Guys, excuse me for this dark environment, but we're gonna make it happen. It's daylight savings time. We're going into fall, which is obviously the best season, and we got some drawbacks when it comes to filming. But with that being said, guys, the M2 is the best car to drive. It's amazing because, you know, the M3 is a little bit long and big, but it's very purposeful, and I get that. And, you know, the M5 is the same, and it's just bigger. It's more comfortable, and I get that. But the M2 has everything. It's perfectly balanced. It feels like an E46 M3 on steroids. And the thing that it does have, too, is an actually good dual clutch transmission. Now, the E46 is an SMG, which we talk about all the time, and everyone knows that it's not the greatest. The DCT is so responsive, and it gives you the ability to really drive the absolute wheels off this car and control it as well. Now, this car is brand new, so we're not going to be doing anything too crazy to it, but you could just kind of get the whole sense of how it is and how it drives in comparison to the other chassis. Now, it doesn't make the other ones bad. It just means that if you are more focused on, you know, driving something that's really fun, that you can just wail around corners and kind of have a more fun car focused feel, but also be able to do kind of everything with it, the M2 is the car for you. And this car is perfect now that it has the S55 motor in it, opposed to the N55 like we talked about earlier. Overall, it's got a lot of space. It's very comfortable. It's got this gorgeous blue Alcantara, the stitching with the Alcantara, which is very cool, like in the previous generation as well. And it's got great technology, of course, as in any brand new BMW, like you'd expect. It's got the same steering wheel as the M2 did previously, but it's got the updated cluster that kind of gives it this more rugged, kind of fits the lines of the front bumper and the rear diffuser, this kind of rugged, you know, kind of cut off trapezoidal look, and it looks very good. Overall, if you buy one of these cars, you'll be very happy that you did, and I'm sure that the depreciation figure won't be too bad, considering this is such a good one, and this is something that isn't just going to be a fad. This is the ultimate driver's car that is very, like, driver's focused. I just can't stress that enough. It's going to be a car that you really enjoy. It's incredibly nimble, and if you can afford to have a coupe and not 4 doors, and you want something a little bit smaller than the M4, you can't go wrong with this car. and some people say it sounds better than the M3 and M4, and I honestly, I agree with them. I do think it sounds a bit better than those, maybe because the exhaust pipes are a little bit different in diameter, or at least size and stuff like that, or they're able to revise it. So with that being said, guys, as always, thank you for sticking around with me in this dark video today. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't. Subscribing would mean the absolute world to me, guys. I super appreciate seeing that number go up. It motivates me to make more videos and put out more content. So with that being said, as always, thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.